everybody, welcome back to another episode of Unwired Appalachia Podcast. We got a very special guest in the house today, Johnson Central coach Jesse Peck. He's been coaching for a while. Followed him when he was at UPike. He was still Pikeville College in their first playoff. I've known him for a while. Great guy, tremendous coach. We also got Adam Mahan sitting in our Paceville Herald sports writer. And with that, Mahan's going to kind of take over right now for a little bit and ask Coach Peck some questions about the upcoming season.
Last season, y'all went 9-4. Every loss you had was about 12 points or fewer. So all them losses could have went either way. Just talk about how some of them close games could have changed your off season, even though you suffered a 1-point loss to a tough Cathene in the second round.
Well, losing to Ashland, our district foe, we lost with 24 seconds on the clock. We drove down, we punched one in, and Jennings made an outstanding kickoff return that put him in striking distance. And with 4 seconds to go, they go in and score. You come out district champs. We wouldn't have seen Covcath week 2. So our path would have looked a little different. Losing to Covcath by 1, we missed an extra point early. And I felt like that we would have an opportunity to get back down the field, score again, battling injuries with 2 key injuries at the running back spot. It was kind of a spur in our side. But heck, losing that one by 1, watching them go and beat Boyle County the next week by 2 scores, left a sick feeling in my stomach. And I know it left our boys sick. We were maybe the best 8-4, 9-4 team in the state last year. We were right there at the cusp of doing something magical, and just couldn't get over the hump. So it has left us hungry this year. Another game, Corbin, was a game that was an offensive. It was an offensive clinic. Just 2 different styles. They were throwing the ball all over the place. They had an outstanding quarterback that we never could seem to rattle. And they had a tough time stopping our run game last year. So I don't remember the exact score. They scored with less than a minute to go in the game to go ahead and win. And Corbin loses in the regional championship game, or in the state semifinal game to Paducah. And so there again, we're right there in the mix of things. And so losing games in that fashion, it almost leaves you sicker than taking a 40 to nothing but whipping, because then this team might have just been better. But we were right there in the mix and coming up short. Will leave a sick feeling, but what it did is it lit a fire in our boys. We had a great number in the weight room all summer long. We had guys going to individual camps, individual workouts, but our weight room was something to see this off season. And it started in November. This upcoming senior class, they're coming in hungry. They want to be the guys that take us back to Kroger, and they believe, which is a good feeling to have for a head coach, when players believe they can do it, then anything's possible.
So still hitting on a little bit on last year. You're talking about this 25 team going to be hungry, but you have to find a replacement for probably one of the top running backs in the state, and Zach McCord.
We lose a 3,000-yard rusher with Zach McCord. And what Zach was is he was not only weight room strong, but Zach is a tough kid. He's a tough-nosed kid. He's a 3-time or a 4-time all-state wrestler, and he's a 100% football player. I never seen Zach get tackled falling backwards. He was always falling forward when he finally did go down. And I don't know if we'll ever see another Zach McCourt. But we're blessed to have only lost one of our offensive linemen off last year's team. We've got 4 or 5 guys that look good running the ball. They may not run in the same style or manner that Zach did, but with those horses in front of him, heck, I would be excited to run behind this offensive line as slow as I am today. So I think they're going to make us better than some of our young guys may be at this time. But running behind them, they're going to get that mindset that I'm the guy now at Johnson Central, And a lot of places you look at it, maybe their quarterback, but our running backs are stars. We rush for. We set a state record last year for average yards rushing in a season at 224, or I'm sorry, not 224, 424 yards a game, I think, is what we averaged. Hopefully we can get close to that again this year. Hopefully we can beat it again this year. But that's something that our offensive line was really proud of, was setting that bar and having all those guys back. We replaced our guard. Big John graduated. We replaced him with a senior who has been working hard for the last 3 years, and those cats are big up there.
On the defensive side of the ball, you lose Seth Davis, and you lose the Barnes boys in the secondary.
Right. We have 3 returners on defense. On a defense that gave up more points than we care to admit. Seth Davis is a guy that we put in terrible situations every game last season. Our coaching staff would look at game film, and whoever the best receiver was is where you'd find Seth. He had a position, but anytime that we would lock anybody up man on man, then we knew where Seth was going to be. And we knew that more times than not, we felt good about the matchups, that we had a chance to win that battle. But losing that, heck, he was a 4-year starter for us. Could have been a 2-way guy for us. Just luckily we didn't have to use him any more than we did on offense. So we were able to keep him healthy, to keep him fresh throughout the game. He ran down some pretty fast guys last year and saved some plays that I thought were touchdowns. And he would hawk them down from backside and made some outstanding plays. And he understood what we were doing defensively. The Barnes twins, to hear me talk about them, you would think that they were giants. Not big in stature. They were huge in heart. And they never went into a wrestling match or to a football game that they didn't think they were the best or that they were going to win. And having that heart, that mindset is tough to replace. They were leaders on the field, whether you wanted them to be or not. Some days were good days and you wanted everybody to follow Barnes. And then if their mind wasn't in it, then we would have to get them in check, and then practice went good. But what they did for us on Friday, we're going to miss. Little Barnes was a guy that 2 years ago we lost our starting 2 running backs, one to a broken leg, one to an ACL. We had never thought of Little Barnes being the guy, and he comes in, finishes year for us, 1,000-yard rusher. We put him in some pretty tough tests, and he just played hard, ran hard anytime he touched the ball. And they were ankle biters on defense. They would come up, they were wrapping up, and we knew what we were getting when they were out there.
So it's now going into 25. You bring back Dalton Matney, Logan Music, Logan Morrow, Austin Sloan.
Right. And we're blessed. We got Big Morrow back at fullback, who may be a guard at some of these other schools, but he's a lead blocker for us and does an outstanding job at it. Logan Music is getting more touches this year in preseason. And he has the ability to score anytime he touches the ball. I don't know how we're going to run Logan. He has got to be playing in our defensive secondary. He's a shutdown guy for us. And we got to have him. He's calling our defense over there. So we got to have him ready to play all 4 quarters on defense. Sloan, he emerged as a leader last year as a sophomore. And you hope to see that your quarterback is the commander of the huddle, and he does all these things. But he won our offense over during 7-on-7 and just kind of led from that point on. He's got a year under his belt starting, and we feel good about what he's doing for us this year. We're doing more things. We're allowing him to do more things, which opens our offense up.
Just one more thing. I know at the end of last season you had a player, Jesse Daniels.
Yep.
Who got sick. What was Jesse doing?
Jesse was he started on our D-line last year, and we were hoping that that's a guy that played outstanding for us all season. Diagnosed with cancer in February. Spent from February until last week he got out of Cincinnati Children's. He's back at school with us. He's on our sideline. He tells me that by district time he's going to be ready to play, and I told him we'll start him off. We'll start running and get him back in the weight room before we worry about playing. But whether he plays for me or not, Jesse is a Johnson Central Golden Eagle. He's a junior this year. He's going to be with us on Friday nights, and he is doing everything in his power to try to get back on the field. And we're so happy to see that he's back with us and doing everything in his power to get back on the field. And he is another tough-nosed kid that played the game of his life and won. It was a pretty scary deal there in the beginning, but he stayed positive through all of it, and we're tickled to death that he's back home and back with us.
Yeah, I got a couple for you, and then we'll let you go. Speaking as a coach, you just talked about Jesse. As a coach, what does that mean to see a kid fight that hard? Because football is always, everybody says, is a metaphor for life, right? If you fight on the field, you'll fight in real life. You've seen that. All of his teammates have seen that. What does that mean for you?
You know, we did see it. And another one you hear is football's family. And seeing how the football team, how the coaches, how his teammates huddled around him and came together. There was a bunch that they spent a lot of time in Cincinnati. I myself took my daughter. We made some trips to Cincinnati. All the donations that came in, it's pretty magical, really. And then as a football coach, it makes you step back and say, you know, maybe this game isn't as important as I always say that it is. But at the same time, you know, heck, it may have saved Jesse because there was 60 kids that were calling and texting and praying, and Jesse knew that he was on a lot of minds in East Kentucky. And, you know, it was when he went in, it was during district basketball time, and seeing the teams in the 57th district that their cheerleaders were wearing the green hair bows. One of the mascots had a green hair bow, and it's on the mascot. East Kentucky came together, which we do. East Kentucky's a special place. It's not just Johnson County. It's not just Pikeville. When something goes wrong for one of us, they all come together. My predecessor, mentor, and great friend, Jim Matney, gave one of the greatest speeches about being from these mountains and hills and what it means. And, you know, every day you can sit back and just watch it ring true. And it was true for Jesse Daniels.
And that, to me, I think this goes into the Euro style of play, toughness.
Toughness.
Sometimes toughness is, you know, you have to find a way to be tough. This team's, they've been through the battles last year. They've seen what their teammate went through. You think you got a little bit of extra toughness, a little extra chip on your shoulder this year going into the season?
One of our answers, and I think that our assistant coaches are starting to give the answer a lot more, is kids ask, what can I do to be faster? What can I do to get stronger? And which is all good, bigger, stronger, faster. You want it, but the answer is just get tougher, be tougher. And it's a tough game. The style of football we play is a tough game. We're gonna ask a running back to carry the ball 130 times this year. We're gonna ask our offensive linemen to open holes with 9 guys in the box, 10 guys in the box, and we expect to pick up first downs. We want 4 yards of carry. And don't tell me why you can't do it. Just get tougher. Let's do it. And I think that it's something that they're, again, going back to mountain teams, that Johnson Central, that's our style. But if you look at the teams around us, Belfry plays with the same style of toughness. Pikeville plays a tough schedule, and it's a same style of toughness. It's a different style of offense. But, you know, I think it's something that a lot of people in East Kentucky, they either make it or they don't. And the ones that do are a little mentally tougher. They had somebody that was pushing them when things got hard, and still that refused to quit. And we don't have great numbers, you know, and as far as our team's not going to look like an army when we walk out and play these other teams, but we will have 11 tough kids on the field, be it offense, defense, special teams, and that's still what sets us apart.
Mm-hmm. I won't ask you about, you know, overall goals. Opening Saturday night up at Shelby Valley, you got Letcher Central. What does that mean for you and your guys? Is that the start of the journey, or what does that mean to you?
Well,
Because everybody looks at that first week different.
For us, we look at week 1 as the only game that matters with the RPI system the way it is, and 4A being what it is. RPI is important to us. You hear some coaches say, well, RPI don't really matter. We're going to be here and we're going to be good until whenever. But we sister district with Covcath and Fort Thomas Islands, and RPI is important. If we can bring a team to Johnson County to play a third-round playoff game, we want to do it. So Letcher is the most important game to us at this point. We break it down, leaving the weight room. We break it down, leaving practice. A 7-on-7 is state champs. Once you're there, you always want to go back, and anything else feels like a letdown. And there's only one team happy at the end of the year, and that's who wins their last football game. And before 2016, I thought it was a pipe dream. I knew we were pretty good. I didn't know if we would ever get there, but heck, after winning the first one, leaves you hungry to win another one. So we still break down on state champ, and at the beginning of the season, I tell them, don't say it if you don't mean it. And if you say something enough, you believe in enough, good things happen. And that is our ultimate goal for a team. And now, for me as a football coach, I hope that we send good men into society. I hope that we have kids that go to college that become good daddies, good in the workforce, good bosses one day, good football coaches one day, and I hope they can play this game forever. But if you listen to any Hall of Fame speech, it's going to end one day. And so I hope when this game leaves them that they can go on and make East Kentucky and Johnson County proud.
All right, we're back. We got another special guest, Dylan Peck. I mean, he's just going to be a senior for Johnson Central. Just talk about your senior season, how excited you are to get this season underway.
I'm real excited. I'm just ready to see what happens, go game by game, and just see what goes on.
Offensive line, that's when you think of Johnson Central, you think offensive line, you think defensive line, you think about the guys up front setting the tone. When you're out there setting the tone, blocking, and the style of play you play, not a lot of teams in 4A play that. Talk about how important it is to be physical and win that battle up front each night for your guys.
It's very important. Being able to get the linebackers, get people off the ball, getting 4 yards carries. I mean, that's what wins us football games. And
yeah, offensive linemen, sometimes you guys don't get a lot of credit. I mean, if you guys making plays and standing out, sometimes you guys, if people say if you don't notice the offensive line, then they're doing a good job.
Yeah.
But when everybody notices when the running backs are scoring touchdowns, when the quarterbacks are throwing the touchdowns, when you see those guys behind you end up in the end zone, what's that feeling like? Because is that one of those things where you've done your job?
Yeah, I know that I've done my job whenever I see somebody in the end zone.
And how fun is this style for an offensive lineman to play and to just go out there and be physical and hit every play and kind of try to out-tough the other team, I guess?
Oh, it's awesome because you line up from across somebody and you just know you're going to physically dominate them. It's awesome.
Yeah, last year you guys had an outstanding season. I thought, like Mayhem was talking to your dad earlier about just a few scores here and there. It could have been a completely different. How hungry does that make you guys this year to know how well you played, how close you were? Does that make you even hungry to get even further and make it back to Kroger?
It does. It makes this more, I'd say. Losing by 1 to Covcath, that's a tough game, tough loss, then seeing them beat Bull. Then Ashland, that's a tough game, good offensive game. Then Corbin, that was a good offensive game. We had 600 yards that night. That was a good game.
Yeah, as offensive lineman, you see 600 yards. What do you think of when you see a number like that? Probably after the game. Probably you don't realize it during the game, but probably after the game, you're probably like, man, we did a good job for these guys.
I think we did a good job. Then I think of the score, we could have done a little more.
I always want to do better. That's great. Just kind of talk about playing offensive line. I mean, your dad was an outstanding offensive lineman when he plays back in the day. Just talk about follow in his footsteps, playing, up front like that. And do you take extra pride in that, knowing that, he had an outstanding career doing the same thing?
I do. I even wear the same number he wore in college. I used to play tackle. Now I'm at guard, and at offensive line, it's where I'm at. It's home.
Yeah, we talked about one of your teammates. It's a tragedy anytime, anybody gets sick. He overcame that. You guys, probably were a big part of, keeping his spirits up. How big was that for your whole team to support a teammate in a time of need when they're sick and kind of keep spirits up? I mean, what does that do for the team in general?
It makes us play a little harder.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you just think a little harder about life, and you think that could be you, and you kind of get grateful, and you just pray that he makes it through it. And luckily he did, and we're so glad for Jesse.
Yeah, and just kind of, I guess the last couple of things, I'll let you go. Just kind of talk, I guess the last thing, and I'll let you go. Just kind of talk about, some of the personal goals you have this season, or, team goals. Like, what do you want to see out of this season? This your senior year. I know you probably want to win as many games as you can and have as most success as you can. Just kind of what some of your goals this year.
I want to break the state record that we broke last year. I want to break it by even more this year. That's always breaking records. That's one thing. Then winning as many ball games as we can, and just coming together as a team, and hopefully making it on the carpet at Kroger.
Awesome. Anything else you want to add about the season?
No. Just God bless, go Eagles.
All right, we're back again. We got one more special guest from Johnson Central, Trey Davis. I mean, this offensive line, Coach brought in 3 offensive linemen to do interviews. Most of the time you see a quarterback, a running back, something like that. You guys, everything starts up front. What does that mean for you guys, setting the tone for your whole team, the offensive line, man? That's got to be a pretty cool feeling.
Yes, sir. That's everything. At Johnson Central, we take our O-line pretty serious. We don't have an O-line. We don't have much. Yeah, we take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah, just kind of talk about, the mentality it takes to be an offensive lineman. I mean, sometimes you guys have to do the dirty work that a lot of people might not see, but the real football people know what offensive lineman at Johnson Central.
Down in the trenches, it's pretty tough sometimes, but there's no better feeling than taking somebody from point A to point B against their will. You can't beat that.
Yeah, when you're there in the third, fourth quarter, you see other teams starting to kind of give up a little bit. Their pressure's not the same. Is that when you've got the game won, or to you when you see you guys actually got a game won? Is that what it is when you see the other defense start getting a little less aggressive?
That's one of my favorite things. We break the huddle and we sprint right up to the line, and they're just, you can see that the life is just out of them. They want to go home.
Yeah, and your teammates talked about this team last year breaking records with rushing. The running backs getting some of the shine, but you guys are doing the dirty work. Just kind of talk about what it feels like to be a big part of that, and knowing that these other guys are setting records because of what you guys are doing.
Right. Yeah, it feels good, and sometimes we don't get all the recognition, but when we look up after putting somebody in the dirt and somebody's in the end zone, then that's all the recognition we need.
Yeah, just kind of talk about, like you got to replace Zach McCoy, huge running back last year for you guys. What's the mentality now with whoever's filling in? Is it just next man up, or is it you guys up front just going to do your job regardless of who's back there?
We're going to do our job, but we say something in the locker room. We'll put anybody's sisters back here and run the ball. Our guys up front, we're gonna do our job. So
yeah, and talk about that confidence, having that kind of mentality, and saying that we can plug in so-and-so's sister and she can run the ball.
Right.
Just talk about that confidence, knowing that when you guys are doing your job, you're almost unstoppable.
Yeah, we know that when we get up there, it's time to work. We're going to do our job, and our running backs will cut off our butt and find a way to make it.
Yeah, and switching up a little bit, knowing that Coach Peck used to be offensive lineman, and that's a big part of what you guys do. Do you guys take a little extra pride in blocking when you see Coach getting on you and coaching you hard?
Yes, sir. That means a lot too. He knows where we come from, and I take a lot of pride in knowing that he was an offensive lineman.
Yeah, and just kind of talk about your teammate Jesse Daniels. I mean, you never want to see anybody get sick. but to see what he went through and overcome it, what does that do for you guys as a team?
My respect I have for Jesse is through the roof. Not everybody can just push through that like he did, and he's a true warrior, and I got a lot of respect for that guy.
When you see that, does that make you want to go out this year and hit guys a little extra harder for him, knowing that what he's been through and knowing that maybe not right away he can't be out there with you guys, but he's working hard every day just to get back?
Yes, sir. I know he's dying to be back on that field, and we kind of take it for granted sometimes that we get to go out there every Friday and play, and I know he's wanting to be out there, so we go a little bit harder just for him.
Yeah, I'll ask you a couple more, and then we'll let you get out of here. You got Letcher Central coming up week 1. What's the focus? What's the mentality heading into that week 1? Is that all the work in the summer leading to that date?
Yes, sir. All the work since after dead period's been counting down to day 1, game 1. We know we're going to go in there and we're going to just be out tough everybody that we go up against.
Last thing, and I'll let you go. Just kind of talk about, some of your personal goals this year, some of the team goals.
One of my personal goals, like some of the other guys said, is to break that record of rushing. Also, the team goal is another state championship to add up there to that banner. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. That was a great job, man. And for that, we'll say we'll get out here till next time. For Trey Davis, for Adam Mayhan, Randy White, my man Rick behind the camera. We'll see you guys soon.